Well, not long after a young gunman murdered 21 people inside a Texas elementary school, Governor Greg Abbott pinned blame for the massacre on mental health.
I asked the sheriff and others an open-ended question and got the same answer from the sheriff as well as from the mayor of Uvalde. The question was, what is the problem here? And they were straightforward and emphatic. They said, we have a problem with mental health illness in this community. And then they elaborated on the magnitude of the mental health challenges that they are facing in the community and the need for more mental health support in this region.
Abbott said as a state and as a society, we need to do a better job with mental health. Well, that raises the question, why did he cut almost $211 million from the budget of the department that handles mental health in his state? The Texas Health and Human Services Commission lost more than $117 million from the 2021 fiscal year budget and more than $93 million from the 2022 fiscal year budget. Also, that Texas could pay more to support the National Guard and other operations at the Mexican border. Now, the governor's office said in a statement to CNN that Abbott has actually worked to fund and expand mental health programs, saying, quote, throughout his time in office, the governor has worked closely with the Texas legislature to appropriate over $25 billion to address mental and behavioral health issues and pass a variety of bills expanding access to mental health services, including creating a match grant program to assist local communities to address any unmet local mental health needs, adding, there's always more we can do to help address the mental health needs of Texans, and we look forward to continuing to work with the legislature to do so. But according to the Mental Health America, a nonprofit community group helping people living with mental illness, Texas ranks last when it comes to access to mental health care. The ranking looks at things like access to treatment, quality cost, and access to insurance. In fact, in just the past 8 years, Texas has had hundreds of mass shootings. 3 of them took the lives of at least 20 people, and we've covered a lot of them here on CNN.
Multiple people have been shot at a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, that is east of San Antonio.
This just coming into CNN, a spokesperson for the El Paso mayor's office telling us that multiple people have been killed and at least one suspect in custody.
But what is Texas doing to stop these shootings? Loosening gun laws. It looks like if you look at the record right here in the last 10 years, state laws there have gone into effect to allow concealed weapons on college campuses, to carry guns in places of worship, and carry guns without a permit. Now, Abbott says more gun control laws would not stop the recent shootings.
If everyone wants to seize upon a particular strategy and just assume, well, that's the golden strategy right there. Look at what happened in the Santa Fe shooting. A background check had no relevancy whatsoever because the killer took the gun from his parent. Look at what happened in the shooting in Sutherland Springs. There was a background check that was done. It was done in a flawed way that allowed the killer to get a gun. And so anyone who suggests, well, maybe we should focus on background checks as opposed to mental health, I suggest to you is mistaken.
But that's the thing, it's not one or the other. This is not just about one golden strategy. That idea is a fallacy. It's not all or nothing. It's about looking at all the different components that lead to these shootings, not just one part, and figuring out ways to cut down, not eliminate future shootings. The bottom line is ending shootings in America is not going to happen overnight. So if this country could take more sensible steps to at least save some lives in the future, even if those steps can't prevent every shooting, is it not worth it? And if this is only about mental health, as Abbott says, why do so many more shootings happen in the U.S. compared to other countries? CNN's Krista Liza made an interesting observation this week. According to a CNN review from 2018, there were at least 288 school shootings in the U.S. in the previous 9 years. That is 57 times more than other G7 countries combined. And a 2017 study by criminal justice professor Adam Lankford from the University of Alabama found the U.S. accounted for 31% of mass shootings globally between 1966 and 2012, despite having only 5% of the world's population. There is mental illness in every country, but only the United States sees these massacres over and over. And by the way, the vast majority of people with mental illness do not commit murder. This will keep happening. These mass shootings will keep happening over and over until more is done to address it on every front.